can't help that he was on fire in the first half, like 28 to 31 point. And then also that's where the coaching comes in again. Clearly, Jacksonville made adjustments, and that it's not all on the player in that instance. Like when a coach makes an adjustment and it
But when
affects
we
the
talk,
outcome of the game, then your coach has to counter it and get your team going. Like you can't
okay,
just you
if we're
can't just snap his finger and just hoop. Like it don't work
okay,
like that.
but Jared Goff in the playoff has made plays. He's changed, unfortunately, 3 decades of a horrible team in Detroit. He's changed the face
You
of them.
said earlier that that coaching played a part in that. You said that, and then
Well,
they had
yeah,
one.
I'm not
They
saying
had
it
one
hasn't, but when we're
season,
talking
bro.
players, like I'm sure there was plays that Justin Herbert missed. I'm sure that missed as far
Yeah,
as
I'm sure
not
Jared
making the
Goff
throw.
miss shit too. Like
Yeah, but I'm just saying though, when we're talking about who's better and who deserves to get paid, like Justin Herbert hasn't even been close to the success that Jared Goff's team or individual that Jared Goff is, and he got paid. You look at Kyler Murray, same thing. He got paid.
I'm
We
I'm
can all
nothing.
say that Kyler Murray is not better than Jared Goff.
I'm up on Kyler Murray. So
So
that's
I'm just looking at the people. Kirk Cousins, same thing.
that was a little bit, but he got paid more than Kirk
I'm just
Cousins.
saying I'm just
That shit,
but
and
over
that shit was wild.
but in the stretch since Jared Goff has been in the league, Kirk Cousins has made way more money than Jared Goff.
That's true. Because I mean, he's been on all them franchises.
Exactly.
He wasn't
So
afraid to play on them
I'm
joints.
just
That's how he made that money.
I'm looking at a Dak Prescott, another guy who he has the numbers,
I
but
don't
he
think.
doesn't make it deep. He doesn't. And
I
when
don't
you
think.
talk about playoff, and when you talk about playoff success, most of the time it falls on the QB. Unfortunately, that's just how it is.
Not
Yes, I'm sure
necessarily,
defense. They
bro.
don't play
We've seen
defense.
we've seen situations where teams won with average at best quarterbacks, bro. We've seen it. We've
I
seen it.
agree, but you have to have a overwhelmingly great defense. Like
Like the Lions had. The Lions have a good running game. They had a good
I said,
team,
a
bro.
defense. No, I'm not
That's
saying they don't have a good team, but if you took Chargers roster and you took the Lions roster and you compare them, you'd be like, ooh, would you not get a Chargers a slight edge?
If you take Chargers coaching though, like then that
We're
ooh is
not. We're talking about players on the field.
man, but coaching makes a difference, bro. This
Yes,
nigga
but
was going
coaching don't
for it.
impact
This nigga was
contracts.
going for it on 4th and 7 from their own 20, bro. You can't overcome that shit. You can't
When
overcome
you up,
shit like that, bro.
when you up, like you said, 31
Bro,
points should be enough.
if they would have tied, what was it, the Raiders they was playing? If they would have tied it, they would have went to the playoffs. This nigga called a timeout to stop the clock. The team was gonna take the overtime. He called a timeout to stop the clock. The team kicked the field goal to 1. How are you supposed to overcome shit like that? Brandon
First
Staley
off,
is a
okay
jackass.
then. So if we're talking about Justin Herbert, first off, y'all shouldn't even been in that position with the Raiders.
Oh no,
Yeah,
yeah.
because that's a super
You're
inferior
supposed to
team.
blow up your division opponents. You're supposed to just blow them out all the
No, I'm
time.
not saying you're supposed to blow them out, but I'm
And
talking about
they've also had injuries. Mike Williams missed
yeah,
the whole season last year.
damn near.
Like,
Yeah,
bro, like circumstances.
but
I'm taking Justin
every
Herbert
team.
over Jared Goff all day and tomorrow.
I'm like I said, I just don't see why when
I mean, shit.
like his not like Jared Goff's numbers speak for themselves. And if you're gonna give the money to the other guys, or you know what I mean, if they're
I'm not,
worth it,
you know how I feel about that. I don't
yeah.
believe everybody should be just get those numbers either. But I mean that payment either. But I mean, I can't control that shit. So
No, I'm just saying though, but like
yeah.
I think, but if we're gonna sit here and say Joe Burrow is worth it, then how can we?
If you can't see that Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Jared Goff, I don't really know what to say.
But
In
when you say a better
contrast.
quarterback, how if we just doing the eye test?
Everything, bro, nigga, you got to do everything. Just like when Cam Newton be talking about, like, although I don't agree with a lot of how he decides the players, but bro, Jared Goff isn't the kind of quarterback that has to win a game, bro. He doesn't have to win a game. Joe Burrow has to win those games, and he was doing it. Patrick Mahomes has to win those games, and he's doing it. Like, that's the difference. Jared Goff can just he's a game manager, bro. If you've never seen such. That's a game manager. I don't even know if I give him that.
So,
Like,
so to be
he's not a game breaker, bro.
so to be second in passing yards over the past 2 years. He's a
Bro, you
game
gotta
manager.
watch the games, bro. It's not all just that, bro.
I'm
You gotta
trying
watch
to figure out though, when we're
you gotta
talking
watch
about an individual player getting paid at a position, like, because I mean, like, compared to what you say about the Bengals, like, you might as well say Joe Burrow's a game manager
No, he's
because you
not. He's
say your
still
team is horrible.
killing. He be out there literally killing. I'm not even talking from a yardage aspect, but
You
he
talk
has to do everything. He has to do everything. The Bengals don't go if Joe Burrow doesn't go.
and what was the and
You
what
can
was
plug
okay and what
you
was
can
the
plug
Lions be
somebody in
and
for
what
Jared
was
Goff and get that same result.
okay.
The
So what
Bengals
was
can't plug anybody. Patrick Mahomes is probably the only guy that they can replace for Joe Burrow and still have any kind of success.
okay then? Is Matt Stafford a good quarterback?
Yeah, he's decent. I mean, he ain't top 5.
Okay, cool. So we seen what happened when Matt Stafford was there. They didn't have half the success,
They didn't
right?
really have all great teams either.
But even when they
Minnesota,
had
Minnesota
the
was
Calvin
just
Johnsons, even when they had better teams, they still didn't have the same success that they're having now with Jared Goff.
so you're saying Jared Goff is better than Matt Stafford? And before you answer that, I'm not even going to argue with that because neither guy moves the needle for me. But is that what you're saying by bringing this up?
But I'm saying that Matt Stafford literally in 1 year goes to a team and win a Super Bowl.
They had that team was fucking great.
I'm just
And he didn't even really
I'm
count
just
the
talking about
games either.
how many most of the time
We
outside
picked him
being
up twice, I think.
a Tom Brady does a player change teams and go to a okay, you can say a
Patrick
great team
Mahomes and
and
Joe
win a Super.
Burrow.
But
Patrick Mahomes and Joe
they haven't
Burrow.
changed teams. I'm talking about changing
Oh, I
teams.
see what you're
Even
saying. I thought you
but
meant
even
like
you look
change
at a
whole
Peyton
team.
Manning. You look at Peyton Manning. Even when he went to Denver, they didn't win the first year.
They didn't win, but I think Denver didn't he throw
They
like 50
took
touchdowns or some shit?
yeah, but okay, even with like 50 touchdowns, you still didn't win. It still took him a year or two to get back to the Super Bowl and win.
And
So
by the way, Justin Herbert threw for 5,000 yards and 38 touchdowns in his second season